So we are recording. Good evening and welcome to our Zoom chat, Portion Fix. Ben and I are here to give you some information. Already, you guys already know that you want to do it. Some of you are coaches who have already bought it and that are going through the certification. I know Erin and Shaz are there, so they'll probably help us with some of the questions and answers that we might have at the end. But this is just to give you information about what's going to be on offer for you tomorrow and what difference it's going to be from what you've had before. So I know we've got some guys here that have never done any of the portion control container system. Some are people who have sort of dipped in and out of it, and then some people who that's Ruth. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
I'll let you carry on and I'll speak to her.
Okay.
I don't know how to stop it.
You'll just have to wait because like that'll come on through the speakers.
Done. I'll just message her.
So yeah, I'll shift over. There we go. So I'm actually on the screen. So yeah, ultimate portion fix. So some of you guys will have done the portion fix and you've done some of the Beachbody stuff before. Basically, what portion fix is kind of like it says on the tin. It's about a method for you guys to control the portions of food that you eat. So regardless of what you're doing out with, whatever exercise you're doing, any of that kind of stuff, what this does is just allows you to make sure you're eating the correct quantity of food. And it's a really, really simple system for you to use to allow you to do that. So for those of you guys who know me, I've been involved in the industry for now about 26 years. I've done various things around food, and one of the bits that's always been a challenge for people and always been a struggle for people and something that they find difficult is how much to eat. Like I look at what a lot of people eat and they're actually eating the right kinds of stuff, and like I've been in that situation myself as well, where all the food that I'm actually eating is the correct stuff, it's just too much. So what this does is it allows you to fix out your portions. So if we think of this as like a pyramid, the base of the pyramid and the foundation in which you build a food plan on is always like the amount that you bring on board, the amount. So that's the calories. You've probably all seen the calories in, calories out thing. You've probably heard 1,000 arguments about what's right and how that works and is it working and what's right, what's wrong. But the foundation of any nutrition plan is around quantity. On top of that, then you'll start to stack in the what you eat. And again, that's the other thing that's one of the really cool things about Portion Fix and Ultimate Portion Fix is when you follow the plan, it makes sure you get the correct amount of those macronutrients and the micronutrients that are on there. So it's no.
Don't message me and when he's trying to talk. Sorry.
I have a cold sore.
He's got a cold
Shaz
sore.
is
That's
like,
why
Shaz is like, apparently I look like a member of the German historical days. So no, it's not.
Sorry.
It's a cold sore.
Sorry, Shaz. Sorry.
So
Such a problem.
I was actually on flow there, and I had a big plan of what to say. It's completely Shaz's fault. So yeah, so within your macronutrients, the main things that you're going to look at, and I include water in that, you have protein. The purpose of protein is for growth and repair. So when you want to repair damage that you've done day to day, whether it's sickness, illness, whatever, protein does that. It also helps with bone health. You've got your carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is your primary source of energy within your body. So it is what your body is fueled with. It's unlike what some people think, it actually is not the devil. You can eat it, you will not explode, you will not grow extra arms. Carbohydrate is okay. The next thing that you have is fat. Fat serves two main purposes. One, it helps you absorb stuff, and secondly, it's an energy source. So that's the basis of that. Now, what they've done in Portion Fix as well is they've given you lists of food, and these foods are energy high. So what that are a nutrient high. So what that means is you're getting a lot of good stuff in for the foods that you're eating. So if I eat something that is processed, it's likely that there's a lot of additives in there. It's likely a lot of stuff that really probably shouldn't be there. So they fixed all that by giving you lists of food that you can pick from, and it's super simple to follow. Next, on top of that, what they give you is food plans, they give you recipes, they give you videos. You've got an app that you can access and log what it is. We've even got like options so we can tailor it to suit you and where you are. Oh, there's Ian. That's the first time I've actually seen Ian like moving. Normally he's just like so it's moving Ian.
It's moving.
The other cool thing is as well, one of the things that when I followed food plans in the past, and when I did, like, I remember back in the day when I first started following, I got like a little booklet thing. I think it was from Men's Health or something, and I followed it. And you always had questions, and there was nobody there to sort of support you or ask the questions to, and you were left to sort of going on Google. The cool thing with this portion fix and what they've added in, and this is the bit that really makes it valuable, is there's an education system that goes with it. So there's a series of videos that you can watch, and there's a system that you'll follow and go through that breaks it down so that you understand you're not just putting stuff in because you've been told to, but you actually understand what it is you're doing and what it is that you're eating. And that includes things like the emotional effects of food. So if you've been feeling certain ways and you're eating because of emotional reasons, it gives you, there's a little video and it explains that, and it explains the, like, what sort of things you might be thinking. It also explains and gives you a purpose behind it, because when we go on a diet or a food plan, there's normally for a reason for that. And quite often the reason is, it's not just as simple as, oh, I want to lose weight. And that always tends to be the thing. There might be a whole lot of things that are underneath that, deeper issues that maybe you've not looked at, you've not confronted, you've maybe not thought about. And what that'll do within these videos is it starts to look into that, and it starts to give you some reasons and some tools that you can use to sort of start to think about these and address those in your head. You can see.
I was just going to say as well, and I think certainly the cool reason for it starting just now is that, we obviously had to do it for ourselves first before we rolled it out into the UK and started sort of using this as part of everything that our nutrition stuff's like built on. But the fact that there's been a lot of tweaks, there's been a lot of people asking about sort of carb cycling, or like working around the family meals, or wanting to build muscle for an event, or whatever it is. But the cool thing about it coming out now, and the cool thing about it being available just now, is the fact that we're going to do it together. And that's one of the massive things about why this works for people, is because when Alex posts in the morning, then Donna's going to post in the morning, and then Erin's going to post in the morning or in the afternoon, whenever it is that we post the food. And it's going to be a really big accountability side of it, because you can go off yourself and I don't know, go to Men's Health or whatever it is that people do, and all the information is there for other things that you might want to do, but the accountability side's not there. And that's why it's really important that we get you on board. You're in a position where you're caring enough that you want to make a change, or you want to make something that's working already even better. Clive Randony went into the group just at the beginning of the week there. We had a chat the week before, came on. It's been almost a year. It's almost a year to the day. I think it's the first week in April or something that he's been here a year. Had amazing results to begin with. And then over the months, just sort of added in a little bit more, didn't start putting the stuff back into the portion control system, and slowly didn't make changes. We had this other call, got back together again. He's really sort of nailed it back down again, and lost, I think he said he lost like 2.5 kilos again in the first week, because he just nailed it back down to what it was. So it's the accountability side of it that's going to be huge.
And yeah, and I think again, that's, for me, it's the biggest thing with this, is when you're in the group, the cool thing is it's dead easy if nobody's watching and you've not got a support network around about you. So when we do consultations with people, and individual consultations, and we've done them in the past, one of the things we always ask is, and what's your support network like? And quite often we might not have that at home, and we might not have that maybe at work, and we might not have that at different places. Whereas what we do is we've got this little group now, and this little community that all look out for each other. And the thing is, if you go in some days and let's face it, and let's just be honest with it, some days it's easier than other days. Some days you can go and be like, wow, and you've nailed it and everything's fine. And then other days you're like, ugh. It's funny, like, sorry, I just noticed Shaz has just posted about losing 6 pounds since Monday by really focusing on the containers. But one of the bits, like, I think for me, that's great that happens. Michelle as well there, so that's amazing. So one of the things for me that Shazza did is she posted a photo of for her at work, and the table behind her, they brought in this big spread of food that was just like not the healthiest. And we've all been there when you're at, you can see Ian looking away in the background there. We've all been there at work when someone brings in the cakes, and like that's like my kryptonite is home baking. So the thing though that I thought was really good was Shaz had posted, and we'd sort of had a wee conversation, and she didn't actually take any of the stuff because she had all her food portions, she had her food planning done in advance so that she knew where she was and what she stuck to. And because she's got her eating spaced out correctly, she's taking on board the right nutrients, she didn't need it. And she was able to sort of just go, well, like, no, I don't need that. And it's sort of starting to recognize you're eating to fuel rather than eating to feel. And that's a really important like distinction to be able to make. I eat to fuel, not to feel.
Like that.
So
like that. And I think it's really important as well, and I learned that from the 80-day obsession, was the preparation side of it, making sure that you've got something there so that you have got that fuel going in, so there's less of a chance of you really needing something to eat because you've already prepped for that. And I think it's really important to say that not everybody's there to lose weight. Some people are there to change their body composition. They might want to actually add on a bit of bulk. It might be for different reasons. So it's not all just about weight loss. And for me, because a lot of our people are already active, this is going to be completely for working it around classes that you're teaching or other things that you're going to, or like I know that Maria there's running, she's training for a marathon, so we need to make sure that she doesn't need to lose weight. She needs to make sure she's eating enough to be able to sustain what it is that she needs to be able to run this marathon. So it takes into account all of that stuff.
No, totally. And I think again it's important, like I've watched like Stephen Butterfield there, his transformation has been amazing, and he initially lost a bunch of weight, and he went from being overweight, liking a bit of the drink, liking a bit of the junk food, to being super lean. And now what Stephen's doing is he's actually building up a bit now, and he's starting to put a bit of muscle mass on, he's bulking a little bit. But for me, that's one of the biggest benefits, is it's not just something that you do this week. It's not just something you do to drop for summer. It just becomes something that you can do for life. And like for us, since Diana started this is before Network or anything launched, we've literally followed Portion Fix, and it's been so easy. I've done various different iterations. We've went from time nutrition to just the foundation fix. We've tried different types of how we space our meals out. So we've sort of done a little bit of intermittent fasting along with it. We've done maybe trying things at slightly lower carb days, like they have when you can do the carb cycling stuff. So we've tried so many different variations of it. But at the end of the day, it just gives us a really simple thing that is super sustainable. And the thing that excites me about this now is that they've scaled it down to work for children. And that's one of the things that we get a lot of times as a bit of a barrier or a challenge, is that, hey, I've got kids, or hey, there's other people in the house. Like now that they've got that there, like anybody can come over here and we can portion for them.
And also it allows us to know that when we do choose to eat off plan, which isn't really off plan, but it's choosing
only in Vegas.
Only in Vegas. If we do choose to have things, then we know that that's what we need to be able to keep where we're going to go. If we choose to have more, then that's absolutely fine. But it allows you to actually have things in place for when you go on holiday and all that kind of stuff, so that you know you're making a choice rather than just being like, oh, I kind of think it's healthy and maybe it's not so healthy, and just not knowing. So it takes into account alcohol and all that kind of stuff as well. So you actually get to live. So I think from that side of it, want to kind of show you some bits and pieces. Tomorrow, if you want to get that ready, tomorrow it opens. So if you're not a coach, then it's available for you from tomorrow for you to just have a look around it, to get access to it. If you've already got Beachbody On Demand, then it's over and above that. If you haven't got Beachbody On Demand, doesn't matter. You're still going to get 6 weeks of workouts, and it might be that you're not going to do the workouts with us. It might be that you are training for the 10K, or you've got classes, or you don't want to do the workouts with us. And that's the first time that we've been able to say, we can see what it is that you're doing, and we can work this meal plan around what you're already doing. So it doesn't include the Beachbody On Demand, but you can have it if that's what you want. On the 25th of March, so that's going to be a week tomorrow, we'll start preparation week. So prep week will be everything it says in the tin, making sure that you've got everything you need, making sure your packs arrive, making sure you've got your kitchen cleared, all that kind of stuff. And then on the 1st of April, we're all going to start the actual portion fix day one. And you know what? There'll be people that will start on the 8th of April, and there'll be people that start on the week after that, blah, blah, blah. But we've got a date that we're going to start, and whether you're going to start on that exact date, it doesn't matter, because it never ends. So we're just going to roll the stuff through. So you're always going to be able to click on the day that we start, whatever day you decide to start, and you'll be going to be able to follow the information and the teaching that we're going to give for that. So we're going to be with you all the way through it.
So I think for me, just some things that I want to just quickly show you. I'm going to show you two things. I'm going to show you a little bit about what the system is. And then the next thing I'm going to show you is just, or the first thing I'm going to show you is just the app. So this is the app. And it is so easy. It tells you what portions you can eat. And if you click on what the portion is, it tells you what foods that is. So you can literally be out and you can be shopping. And if you're not sure if that's on your list or not, you can just open up your phone and click on it, and it gives you like a full list of everything that's on there. It also tracks your water intake. It'll track your supplementation in there as well, which again becomes a vital part of it. And I was actually I had a call with someone today about that, about how that fits in and how like the difference it is. And they've just changed it so that they've went back on the recovery drink, and it's made like a massive difference to how they feel. In terms of how they're sore and how they recover and just being hungry overall. So the app is called, it's just Nutrition Plus, Alex. It's just the Nutrition Plus app. It's also got a little thing where you can track your weight. Now, again, another thing that I've had conversations with this, although we're tracking weight here, we also track sizes. So there's measurements and weights, which give you a holistic picture, because it's not always just about losing weight. You'll get to a certain point where we might be trying to increase weight, and all that gets tracked on the app. The other cool thing is you can access all of the stuff I'm about to show you on the big screen on here. So it's got video recipes. You've got all your bits for the actual portion fix are all on there. So I'll quickly share a screen with you just so that you can see what it is. And I'm just going to give you like literally a whistle stop tour of what is there. So hopefully just now you can see the Ultimate Portion Fix screen.
Yep.
And not anything else dodgy that's in the background of Diana's computer.
Like cats.
So here it is. It gives you like an overview, and it gives you a bunch of results and things that people have had. And then next it's got the video. So this is what you get with it. So it gives you a getting started, and it's based on like a modular system, which is an education. So it's like you going along and doing a program where you go and you watch a video, and each little video explains some stuff to you all the way through. And then it tells you about how to work out your own calorie bracket. And the cool thing with this is it's empowering you to be able to do this for yourself. Because although you've got the support, and although you've got the group there and our knowledge and the other people that are in the group that have been through stuff there to help you, who've experienced it, you can actually do all of this for yourself. And it's quite empowering for you to be able to take control of your food for a change and not have other people control what it is. So you can work your way through it in your own pace. Then also in here, it's got some resources. So each little bit has some resources that you can work through. So you start to do some goal setting, understanding why it is that you are trying to lose fat and trying to lose weight, or maybe trying to gain weight. Because again, we can tailor this. We've had some people come to us who actually have been the opposite direction. They've come to us and we've been able to give them portion fix to gain weight. And I think that's the important thing. Really, the basis of this is it's a system for you to be able to portion what it is that you're going to eat.
So, again, we could go like really into the depths of that, but like there's no need. There's lots of stuff that you're going to get. And I think, like I say, the cool thing is that we're going to be doing it together, and everything that we're going to be basing our future groups is going to be on this meal plan. So the fact that you guys are going to be like the first in it to be able to kind of go through it with us is going to be super exciting as well. So I think that that's going to be one of the things that will really keep you wired onto it. There's, like I said, there's different people in this group. I know there's guys who are, so we've got people in here that are that have got Beachbody on Demand, that are on a program, that have already got Shakeology, and that might have this as a bolt-on. So that could be your choice. And you'll get the 6 weeks of autumn. I know that Joe's really keen to do that. So we've got 6 weeks of autumn. She's going to do 21-day fix refilmed. And then after it, it's going to be 21-day fix extreme. So that takes you 6 weeks of workouts, half an hour a day, 6 days a week. So that's, for example, Joe. We've got people like, I know we've got people like Stephen, who's a coach, who has already tapped into this system. He's got the access to it. He's going through the master qualification. So he's going to be in our group. He'll be going through it with us as well. And if you are a coach, you've got access to this already at a discount. And then we've got people who have got no Beachbody on Demand, who are just jumping in, being like, interested in this, just need to fix my food a bit. There'll be people that'll be watching this video a little bit later on as well, that is just like, I just need to get my food fixed, help me out. So I think the best way to make sure that everybody's sort of fixed in a way that that you're done, that you're sorted in a way that's unique for you, is just maybe just to pop in at the bottom, like where you're at. Or what it is that you need from us to be able to send you. So if you can just pop in like what it is that you need out of this group. I think it's as important as well. Like I know most of you that are in the groups are already all on Shakeology, so maybe just a bit of information about what Shakeology is and how that's going to fit into this meal plan and how it's going to help you achieve your goals in a much broader fashion. I think are you going to take that bit, or do you want me? Are you having a little dream?
I wasn't a wee dream there. I was thinking about something.
What were you thinking about?
I was just going to say, like, guys, the other thing with this is you've talked a lot about stuff. So if you've got any questions, please pop your questions in on the sheet there so that we can ask, so that we're not just telling you this, like we want this to be interactive. So if you've got questions about what it is, if you've got questions about, well, how will it work for this? How will it work for that? What am I allowed? Just fire them into the chat. You can get that, it's a little button at the bottom, and just hit chat, and then you can type in what it is that you want there.
Or you can just message me if it's easier. I know I've got a couple of messages coming in from the phone, so if it's easier just to message me, and then that's basically going to be what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. So we've got tired cats all lying about all the floor. So that's basically what I'm going to be doing tomorrow. You guys that if you're a coach, you can just go in and get it for yourself if you haven't already. If you're not and you know what you want, then just message me and I'll send you a share card, just like I have done before. And if you just want more information, just message me and I can give you what's going to be like unique to you. But this is, it's almost like what we've done, but on steroids, because we know it works. We've been doing it for, in fact, that's 2 years that I've been on this plan and I've never looked back. And they just keep improving it and tweaking it and doing little things. And I'm looking forward to doing the carb cycling, but not until we get back from the Bahamas now. It's too late now. So I was just going to mention a quick couple of things about like Shakeology. So basically what Shakeology is in there is, it's like a boost that is going to supercharge your results. One of the things, so I talked about these foundational layers. One of the things that they've said where, and this is one of the arguments around that, is calories in, calories out, does that actually work? And what they had a bit of discussion around is, if I'm putting calories into my mouth, it's not actually
do the calories go into my mouth, it's during that digestion process. So if I'm not actually taking the calories and the nutrients out of the food because I have poor digestion, then I'm not getting, so I might take in 1,000, but if I'm only absorbing a set amount, like I might only absorb 500 of that, or some people might be absorbing like the full amount. So different people will absorb different amounts of stuff from the food. And one of the things around that is around gut health. And Shakeology basically has prebiotics and probiotics. So prebiotics is like raking the fields. So it's like laying the fields. Right now you go out and you drive down the road and you see the farmers out raking the fields, getting them ready for like planting. That's what prebiotics do, but in your gut. So the gut flora and all the bacteria and stuff in your gut, the probiotics and start and get that ready for it. Sorry, the prebiotics. And then the probiotics is then like the fertilizer afterwards to make sure that they're staying growing. The other thing they have in it is they've got a range of different foods that are in there that are going to help with your immune system. They're going to help with just the vitamins that you have. So things like superfoods with high levels and high concentration and potency of the various vitamins. Like I said, all these adaptogens, which are going to look at your immune system and help you. What was the one I was looking at? Ashtanga root yesterday. Yes. I posted in about that. It's funny, like I might sound like I'm this because it's got 72 ingredients. So I'm totally like, I can remember like one at a time because like I'm a boy and I can only do one thing at a time. So like the one that I was looking at yesterday, again, and like I'm a skeptic. So like even still, I will always live my life that way because I just think it's a good thing to do, and because
it took me 10 years to get married, me.
Yeah, I had to do some background checks, and then the CIA got back to me. I had Karen stalking her for a bit. Everything was all right, so then I finally decided we would. So, but anyway, so like the nutrients and stuff that are in there, like that, it's just going to help. Like we've had so many different people with different results, but I went and checked the science of this one, and the scientific studies actually have shown that it will have an effect on the immune system, and it boosts like white blood cell production, lymphocyte production, things like this. So I was like super impressed that this stuff, you can actually go in, look at the ingredients list, go on Google and search it, like, and there is science behind that'll back it up. So it is great. Again, one of the things like Stephen's just mentioned in there is really funny because he's mentioned he's got a guy who has a phobia of vegetables. Is that like he's scared of something you can chase him down the street with an asparagus? Or does he just not like it? Sorry. I was watching Robin Williams before I came through, and that's why I'm a bit kind of in a joke with it. Anyway, Carl Deichler, he always goes on and talks about this, and he says he's never liked veg. And what he finds is the Shakeology and the veg that he gets in there, and he can add stuff into it, it helps get the vegetables in. So if you've got kids or you've got people who have, like, let's call it food preferences, or they're fussy eaters, then again, round Portion Fix, because it's so generic and simple, and you've got your Shakeology and you've got your other supplements that you have there, you can really tailor it so that these people who might not be because there's so many people like that, and especially the kids these days that won't eat fruit and veg, that you can give them this, which is, it's just like going and getting a milkshake, and it has all those nutrients in it. It's not a meal replacement. It's not there to replace stuff that you're eating. It's a supplement. That means it's in addition to. It's classed as a food, and that's been classed by the government as a food because of the potency and because of the stuff that it has in it. So it's not just like going and buying like you would buy a meal replacement or something down at Holland and Barrett or anything. It's a completely different thing.
Yeah, so there's no tax on it either. So I think it's important, and we've kept it actually within that half hour to allow you guys to just unmute yourself and just ask us any questions. Ask us anything at all. Anything at all.
Not my moustache.
Nothing to do with the moustache.
but thank you for pointing that out, Shazza. Note to self.
Yes. Anything? What about you, Cho? Anything you want to ask? You're looking forward to just getting it started again?
I'm looking forward to my coaches make me get up at 5:30 in the morning to do a bloody workout. I'm knackered. I'm literally trying to stay awake here. I'm proud of myself for being up.
You're going to be heading off to bed soon. That Miracle Morning's done you awesome. These morning workouts have been amazing for you.
My God, it's literally transformed my life. Genuine and hard.
So good. Do you remember the chat? Remember the chat we had at the beginning as well? And you were like, I could never do it in the morning. Try it for a week, and you were like, okay. And you
doing Transform 20, I thought getting up at 10 to 6 was bad, but when my alarm goes off at 5:15, I want to shoot myself, but I still get up, I do it, I rise, and then I do everything. It's fine. It's actually quite good because it does give me like a little bit of time to get the energizing, and I can get all the kids' lunches done. So, but it does make me tired at 9 o'clock at night, and I'm like this.
Yeah, I'm super proud of you being here, but I think you should go to bed now. You can message me like what it is you want to do with that, and we can go through there. But it just means that like there's a whole bunch of stuff that goes with it as well. You can do, if you want to do the cert and you want to go and be qualified in it, you can do that. There's a Fixate book, which is a cookbook. There's like the little tote bag that I took down at Newcastle. There's Jane, nice to see you. She saw the tote bag. So there's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can get.
The one thing I was just going to say, just because I was chatting to Shaz about this other day there, I really like the fact it's got a little logbook in it. But the logbook is very, very holistic. So one of the things that we'll talk about is like tracking mood, tracking energy, and tracking what it is you do. Because like if you don't track what you're doing, how do you know it's working?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know anything's in the right place? So like even things like your mood, as you start to eat better and be healthier, your mood will increase. And if you establish a base point, so you're just marking off that mood, right? Where am I? Am I a 10 or am I a 1 or am I a 3? Where am I? You get this base point. So then we can start to look at this and go, well, hey, if that's slightly lower, what can we do to help you with that? And that's really what our role is for you. It's like, and that's, regardless of what else you're doing, that little system of tracking is fantastic.
And I 100%, and this was just a coincidence that I'm now reading The Miracle Morning. Has anybody read that book yet, the audio book? So if you've not read The Miracle Morning, like again, you know how excited I get about a personal development book, but what it did was it talked about developing a habit. Now there's the 21-day fix is obviously talking about developing a habit, but actually those days between 1 and 10, when you're like Joel, those first 10 days when you're hitting the alarm, you want to shoot yourself, as she said, and it's just like you haven't got the benefits there in your head just yet. But once you get past those first 10 days, and then it goes off for the 11th and 12th day, then you start to get the benefits from the reason why you're doing that. So she's got more time. She feels less lethargic. She's starting to feel her body weight starting to shrink. She starts to feel her clothes a bit better. She's less stressed. So those things only happen after the first 10 days. So that gap between day 10 and day 21, you're establishing a habit. And then the really crucial part, the days between day 21 and day 30, you're enjoying the benefits from that. Your gut health feels better. You've got yourself into a routine. Things are like just seem better. You're feeling less sluggish and things in the morning. But you have to have that full month to really appreciate the reason why you're doing it. Because if you stop on day 21, and you wouldn't believe how hard it is to try and remind people, don't forget to take your Shakeology. You're taking your Shakeology today. Day 1, yes. Day 2, yes. Day 3, oh, I forgot. It's like, take it for the full 30 days. Do the stuff for 30 days. You're not going to know the benefits of getting up early and getting that routine done. Drinking the amount of water you're supposed to drink for those 30 days. Drinking your Shakeology, like tracking your moods and stuff until you've got 30 days. So it's just super important that we get you through that, and it's to try and get you to a point where we're doing it together. So when those things come up, come on Shazza, those things come up, she's got an early morning wake-up call with certain people in the morning, and that we're there to help you with it and to get over the bumps and stuff as well. So questions?
Yeah.
Hey Mr. Phil. Hi, I met him in real life. He's a real man. Yeah. I was like, hi Phil.
Oh,
So yeah. think that's about it. So we've been recording it. So what we'll do is we'll get it onto YouTube and we'll drop the link in. So if you want to share that with anyone or anybody that's missed it, then we'll get that all uploaded. Probably won't be tonight. It'll probably be the morning now before we do it. But just message us as to any questions that have popped up. And I think that for me, I wanted to see the sort of turnout for a Sunday night at 9 o'clock. And I know we've kind of gone in a tiny little bit and it was anticipated. But I think that our Sunday night calls for our challengers are going to be the night that everybody's going to be able to come, because it sets you up for such a good start to the week, and we can answer your questions, so make sure everybody's on track. We'll find out who's been dropping off and who gets challenge of the week. This call on a Sunday night is going to be a regular thing, and it's shown by the people that have arrived on this call. So we thank you for turning up, and hopefully you found it interesting. We hope you found it informative for you, and we'll take a screenshot, because that's kind of what we do.
And if you've got anything else that you want, just message Diana or I, and if you're all in, you want to get going with it, just message us and we can get you all sorted out.
Doing Alex.
Stephen,
do this if you're Joe.
or do this if you're me.
Oh yeah. You done it?
I'm gonna do another one. There we go.
That's it. We'll put that in the group. So thank you so much, guys. Like I say, we've recorded it, so we'll stop recording it now. And it's all there, ready to be. Do you want to stop recording? Yes.